Hey, this is Pastor Sam DeChico from Concord Baptist Church. Thanks for joining us today. This is our very first podcast that we are hosting at Concord Baptist Church. We're going to get to know some of the folks in our church. We're going to start with our leadership team and then just share stories of folks, how they got saved, what their ministry is all about. And so over the next number of weeks, I hope you'll enjoy as we share stories from people's lives here at Concord Baptist Church. Hey, it's Pastor Sam DeChico from Concord Baptist Church, and I'm looking forward to another podcast today. This is a podcast first. We have two people being interviewed at the same time today. Our guests today are two ladies from our Concord Christian Academy and our church ministries, Jill Tillinghast, to my far that way, and then we have Mel Killmer.
That's me.
And I call them the Maryland girls because they are, guess where you're from Maryland, right?
Maryland.
Now look, these ladies drive about an hour.
It's an hour.
Where are you from? Crystal Beach or?
Crystal Beach, Earlville, Maryland.
Okay. And they drive an hour every day to school, back and forth, hour to church, back and forth, and anything else going on. And it's a great testimony. They love driving for some reason. I don't know. But anyway, I've been trying to get them to move closer, but they can't leave Maryland. It's just in their blood or something. But anyhow, I met Jill when she was a ninth grader. It was only about a couple years ago. At ninth grader at Newcastle Baptist Academy. I was a teacher from 1982 through 1986. I taught Bible the last 3 years. And Jill was one of my students in 9th and 10th grade Bible.
Yes.
And I remember Jill, she was just a regular teenage girl. Never expected her to teach at our school someday. Just kind of silly and giddy like every other teenage girl was. No, I don't remember much about you, to be honest. I'm sure you made straight A's, right?
No.
From my class, you didn't?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No.
Okay. Well, anyhow. So Jill, we'll start with Jill. Jill, tell us first off how you got saved.
Well, I thought I was saved in first grade. I went to a different local Christian school, not Newcastle, but I thought I was saved in first grade. But as I grew older in my junior high years, there was only a teacher and his wife came. For 1 year, they taught us in junior high, and the Lord used their ministry to convict me that I was not really truly saved. And so at recess time, they said, anybody who wants to learn more about Jesus Christ, stay behind. And so I did, and I accepted the Lord in my 7th or 8th grade year. I'm not 100% sure which year it was.
Wow, great. So you got saved through the Christian school.
Yes, it meant a lot in my life. Yes.
Great, wonderful. And so you got saved. When did you dedicate yourself to the Lord concerning Christian education? Or have you yet?
I'm still thinking about it.
Okay.
No, I was in college, and I wanted to be a journalist, and I realized that I wasn't as good of a writer as I thought I was.
Okay.
So they made us take educational courses, and they had a job fair there, and that was, where I found my first job, and the guy begged me to come because they couldn't find teachers, just like today.
Yes.
And so then once I was doing that, I realized I really, truly loved teaching these kids and giving back to them because I saw in them the same kind of life that I had when I went to Christian school, and what a difference it made in my life, and I wanted to make that same difference in their life.
Good. And that was at Pensacola Christian College, right? Is where you,
Yep.
And it's, of course, where you became good friends with Mel also. She graduated from the same college. So you decided to be a teacher, and you came, I know you were working at a school in Maryland somewhere, and then we somehow came in contact.
Yeah, it was a weird situation. My time there had ended, and we had a roommate. She was leaving as well, and we had bought a house, and so we had 3 of us. So we sold the house in 8 days. People said, oh, you're not going to sell the house. Well, God wanted us to move, so we sold the house. And I never put an application here at Concord because I wanted to go back to my original school, Newcastle Baptist.
Okay.
My aunt taught there. And the thing was, they moved, my history teacher had gone to administration. Well, they lost students, so she went back to the classroom, so they didn't need me. And all of a sudden, our house is emptied out, and we've sold everything, and we were getting ready to move. Mr. Gottschall, your brother-in-law, called me and said, "Hey, we want to interview you." And I was like, "Who is this?" Or she answered, and then I was like, "I don't know who that is." And I didn't even know you were the pastor here. I had no idea what happened to you because you just disappeared after 10th grade. And you were gone.
I told everybody where I was going.
You didn't tell us.
Okay, sorry. Well, you know now, so
Yeah,
that's
I
fine.
know now. But yeah, she was actually asleep because she was working third shift, and Mr. Gotcher called her, and she was like very grumpy when she was awoken. So I was like, "Who is he? I don't know who he is." And then I came and I found out that you were the pastor, and I was like, "I know who this is." And then Mrs. Lorraine Latanzi was praying for a 6th grade teacher because her son was in 6th grade.
So you started off as a 6th grade teacher.
Yeah.
And I know you are in our junior high and high school. Tell us what you teach now.
I teach Bible for 6th through 8th. I teach worldview, which I think is really important for the seniors as they get ready to go into the world, that they know what's going on. So that's for 12th graders. And I teach economics government for 11th and 12th, world history 9th and 10th, and 6th grade English.
Oh, wow, okay. So it kind of spread out a little bit. Now, I know you really have a passion for the teenage girls especially, that they will surrender to the Lord, that they will have a strong Christian life. And so tell us maybe something that you do to kind of help challenge our kids.
Okay. The ladies, gentlemen, I always tell them the stories of students I've had before, because my whole goal is to get them to the point where, because some of them have their father's and mother's faith, but they haven't made it their personal faith. Or, is my case, they come from a weak Christian home, and really you have to make a decision earlier, or you tend to go towards the I'm bitter because I don't have it like easy like these people. So my goal is to make them understand that no matter what's happening in their life, there's a God who understands what's happening in their life, and he wants them to trust him because he'll bring a good result like he did for Joseph.
Amen. Good. Now, Jill, you're involved in coaching. Tell us a little bit about your coaching career.
Our coaching career is please girls play basketball, please girls play basketball, and if we can get them out there, we try to teach them skills.
Yes.
And our goal is to eventually have a really good team. But we've had such young players, and we've had sporadic high school involvement. So we have a bunch of junior high kids that are coming up. And we're really excited about that because they're starting to look like a basketball team.
Good. Well, that's great. And I know you drive the bus sometimes for school activities or games, things like that. And both you and Mel both are involved in driving, which we appreciate greatly because you have to have a CDL.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to drive the bus. So anyhow, thank you for doing that. A number of years ago, Jill, if you remember, I'm sure you can't forget, we went to Israel.
Yes.
And I know we had a great time with a lot of people from the church that time, and hope that you'll have fond memories of Israel, right? You know what I remember about Israel with you? You had to have your Coke or Pepsi.
Yes, Pepsi. I bought a Pepsi on Mount Sinai.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They had
Pepsi
a little
every
cart
day.
there. A cart there. I was shocked. I took a picture of it. It was so exciting.
Jesus and Pepsi are everywhere.
Right. Pepsi on Mount Sinai. What could be better?
Good. All right. Great. All right, Mel. Let's talk about your life a little bit. Mel, you grew up in what area?
I grew up in York County, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So southern York County, about 45 minutes north of Baltimore.
And tell me about your salvation experience.
I grew up in church. I was in church from the time I was a baby. So my parents, my family, very involved. And so I heard about it in Sunday school. You know, we were there all the time whenever the doors were open. So when I was 5, after one of the church services, again, I went home and asked my parents for, told them I didn't know, wanted to know how to be saved. And so they led me to the Lord through then. So it was at a very young age.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Great. And what you got baptized?
It took a couple of years.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So a couple of years.
All right.
afterwards.
So did you go to a Christian school?
I did from 3rd grade through 12th grade. Yeah.
Okay, so you
went to a
graduated from Christian
there.
school.
Red Lion Christian. in
Red Line, not to be
Pennsylvania.
confused with the one
Not
here
the one in Delaware.
Delaware, Red
Pennsylvania.
Line, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay. And then you went to PCC. Did you feel?
Yes.
When did you feel the Lord call you into teaching?
That's a hard one. I always loved teaching. I was always involved with younger students, tutoring them. I was always involved with church work and helping with Sunday school, always doing something, it was kind of a natural thing. So my older sister was also a teacher for a couple of years, and so that kind of also inspired me, I guess. So I was, even in high school, wanted to always wanted to be a teacher.
Great.
So I felt that.
So you came, you graduated from PCC, Pensacola Christian, and then Jill already said how that you were
How we got
contacted
here.
by
Yeah.
our administrator.
Yeah.
And Jill came in 1996,
95, six,
and
I
you
started
came
in 1997.
97.
Yeah, because
So when you
Newcastle
came,
hired me for a year before I came up here.
who did?
I Newcastle.
Oh, okay.
So I ended up teaching in Newcastle
Okay.
when she
All
did,
right.
and then came here.
So then you came here, and I know you've taught about 15 different classes and grades and
As
everything.
soon as you get comfortable in one
you are-
spot, they move you.
You are the ultimate utility
Utility
player.
player,
You know,
yeah.
you play every position and you
Yeah,
do it well.
try.
So you started off at
I started off in fourth grade, taught
Okay.
fourth grade for about 10 years, then moved up to sixth grade when they needed a teacher there, and taught sixth grade inclusively for about, I guess it was 7 years, and then they decided to merge that up with the high school or middle school. So I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th, did a couple like proctoring courses with the high school for 3 or 4 years, and then after COVID, because of health worries with the second grade teacher, I ended up moving back to second grade.
Okay.
So I've been all over.
I know you have. So basically, wherever we need somebody to teach, we just call you and say, "No, Mel,
Pretty
would
much,
you?"
yeah.
And,
so-
and we tease about that, but that has been a blessing to us. It's given us a flexibility.
Yeah.
Most Christian schools are small like ours. You don't have
Yeah.
people that specialize in one class all the time. That's going to be it. So we appreciate people that can jump around a little bit and be involved. Now, Mel, you are also involved in our church pretty heavily, as well as Jill, of course. And your most recent ministry has been playing piano for us on
Yes,
Sunday.
yeah.
Of course, our former piano player, Brother Bob, went to heaven a couple years ago. So you took over the role of church pianist. And
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit about your music ministry here.
Well, I had done, I'd taken lessons all through, from when I was a kid, and got away from it for a little while, came back and started playing offertories and things like that here. Did a couple special musics, but mostly just I was happy being the second, third in line, and that was fine with me. So, but again, it's like same thing. It's like the need arose. So if there's a need that I can help fill, then try to do that. And so
Right, you do a great job. We
Well,
appreciate
thank
your
you.
playing the piano, and my wife plays the.
or the
Well, it's like a
piano, organ.
whatever she wants it to
You
sound
can
like
call
that
it
day.
that.
It's supposed to be an organ sound, but it's a digital
but
piano, so
digital
she can
piano,
play all
that's the
kinds of
word.
different
Yeah.
different sounds, and you both sound really great.
Thank you.
And then a few years ago, of course, once again, we need somebody to fill in as our Awana
Yeah.
leader, and of course, who else do you ask?
Yeah.
You know.
Person who's yeah.
So tell us about Awana. Tell us about that.
I started on Awana in I think like 4th grade, I believe, is when our church started doing Awana. So I was a student in Awana at that point. And again, once we had gone up to, I guess, 6th grade, and once I got into high school, I started helping with the younger kids. And still there, my dad was the game leader, and my whole family was involved again. And so I worked through Awana all through high school. Went to college. I worked a couple years, there with the Awana Club. The other church I was at previous to this one worked at the Awana Club there. So I've been involved with it every time. So
Okay.
I enjoy, love working with kids, love teaching them the Bible, and so
So
it just kind of
for people that don't
led them
know
here.
what the Awana program is. Can you just kind of summarize it in a minute or two,
Yeah.
kind of what the focus of Awana is?
Sure. Awana is it's a program where it's split into 3 parts. You do a game time, which is what gets the kids to come in and what they enjoy because they want to come and they want to play games. And so they have
You
a
split
game
into
time.
4 teams, right? You have
Usually,
competition.
depending on how many students or
Okay.
how many kids you have, yeah. So usually it's 4 teams, different colors, and they compete. Then we have a council time where they have a Bible lesson from the Bible that, trying to teach them truth and, so they can learn that. And then a Bible memory, scripture memory time where they go through their books and learn a lot of different scriptures. And I know that, I've got a lot of scripture in my heart, in my mind, because I learned it when I was young. And that's it's harder to learn and memorize as you get older, so it's the best time to get those
Sure.
verses in their heads and have them learning. And of course, they earn prizes for that, and well, they earn money that they can spend on Awana store. So I get
Awana
to go
dollars.
buy all.